person in all of Good Morning Football history that has left our set and stole that mug. He stole it. Of course he did. Of course he did. You deal with him all the time. Okay, Jane, slow start for Drew Brees in his first game back from injury. How is he feeling in this one, ahead of this one?
Well, look, Kay, it was not the General that we were used to seeing in that game against the Chiefs. General, by the way, is his nickname by his teammates there in the locker room. He was 0 for 6 on his first passing attempts, 1 of 11 on third down conversions, and they lost the time of possession, only 18 minutes and 46 seconds. Brees took it in stride, though, on Monday. He said he was still trying to get into a rhythm after missing the 4 games with the punctured lung and the ribs. And he said physically he felt fine. The emphasis this week, of course, was just on making sure he got all the recovery that he needed. Now, I did ask his running back, Alvin Kamara, I said, how does this offense change when you've got a guy like Drew Brees in there? And he said the vibe is just different. It's his control of the offense that stands out. And, of course, he has control of it. He's been in the league for 20 years. Like Tom Brady, these guys have seen every defense possible. Now, here's what's going to help him a little bit more this week. He is getting Taysom Hill back in the capacity of the do-everything guy. That's because Jameis Winston, who surprisingly ended up on that COVID list ahead of the game, is back in this one as number 2, so that is a bigger menu for Hill. They had to be mindful of the snap counts because, of course, Hill was looking to be the backup in that one. They've also got to do a better job of just getting the ball to guys like Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, and how about Lil Jordan Humphrey, Hookem, Texas, who got his first touchdown last week. This Vikings defense, though, as we've been talking about throughout the morning, is a little different than what they're used to playing against. They were 5th ranked last year. This year, they are 25th, and that linebacker group fairly decimated. They're also not going to have Eric Kendricks for the 4th straight game. He is still dealing with that calf injury. All right, so that is the news and notes on this one. We've got another game tomorrow. I talked a little bit about this quarterback in that hit, Tom Brady. Well, he's taken on the Detroit Lions. Here's Sarah Walsh with more on that one.
Lions interim head coach Darrell Bevell told us this is the times that we are living in. You have to be ready for everything, and you have to be ready to adjust. They are making major adjustments on the coaching staff this week after Bevell and 4 other coaches were ruled out of Saturday's game against the Buccaneers because of COVID protocols. Robert Prince, the team's wide receiver coach, steps in for Bevell to assume head coaching duties, and Sean Ryan, the quarterback's coach, is going to be calling plays, something he hasn't done in any level of football. Bevell said he's going to work with Ryan to just practice calling a game. Now, Bruce Arians sees this a little differently. He says now the Bucs have to throw out all the tendencies they were preparing for because the Lions have new play callers on both sides of the ball. He also sees it as a chance for these coaches to audition for some heavy-duty jobs, and he expects the Lions will throw the kitchen sink at him.
Thank you so much, Sarah and Jane, respectively. This is the first game of 2 on NFL Network tomorrow, the day after Christmas, of course. Let's do a little mistletoe minute, you guys. Let's just get really Christmassy here. 60 seconds on the clock. You guys share that time like you always do, and let's talk about that matchup. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady going up against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. What are we looking for in this one? Kyle.
It's perfect for this segment. Time's up on the Bucs. Let's go. Are you great or are you not? Tampa Bay Buccaneers will probably be playing a playoff game in about 22 days. Like, we're here. So if you're this whole, we're getting it together, we're in and we're out, we're adults, we're children, it's time. You're playing Detroit. Have a show pony type day. Blow us away. Get ready for the playoffs. They're almost here. No more warm-ups.
Yeah, it's time. Time is up, or perfect timing. It seems like they're starting to catch the rhythm. And that ball that they threw to Antonio Brown, that Tom Brady hit him in that seam route, like that right there showed me everything I needed to see that they're starting to figure it out. And be careful counting out these Bucs. They might be heating up at the right time. And shout out to Robert Prince. He used to be my wide receivers coach with the Seattle Seahawks. He will be the interim head coach. Good luck, coach.
Great segue there. Robert Prince is the head coach. Sean Ryan is calling plays. First time of his career at any level is the offensive coordinator. And Evan Rothstein, in classic Christmas fashion, Evan Rothstein, a 33-year-old coach, is going to be running the defense as defensive coordinator. Hey, Evan, I feel you this week. Let's go, buddy.
Peter.
Love it. All the new names. I love it. I'm into it. Rothstein's going to make it happen.
Iced coffee.
This would be the first time, guys. If the Bucs win, they clinch a playoff berth for the first time since 2007. So I think a little part of us all rooting for that Bucs fan base that's been with our show and supporting us since the very beginning. Okay, next up, let's go with the Chiefs. So they can secure a first-round bye if they just beat the Falcons. Pretty nice matchup for them, honey.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Can we just finally give Travis Kelce his just due? Can we just say that he's the best tight end in the business without having to bring up anybody else? I get it. We have some really good tight ends in the business. George Kittle is fantastic. Zach Ertz is great. Gronk had a run. Like, there's some young pups that are coming up, and they will be good. But right now, this is Travis Kelce's league. He got 60 yards away from breaking the single-season tight end record for yards in a season. I want to watch him do his thing.
Yeah, the Chiefs, they don't typically mess around in big games. They usually take care of business. If they win this game, they clinch the #1 seed in a bye. It means they can rest next week. They can rest the week after that, and they'll be home throughout the playoffs. This game is a lot more important than it might look on this bottom line ticker. Chiefs got to win this one, and I think they'd like to win early and get a big lead and just take care of business.
Le'Veon Bell, you're up. You're up, man. Get this guy's carries up. Get his confidence up. Le'Veon Bell's an emotional player. He is the guy who will go to Twitter if he doesn't like what happened or if he didn't like what he did. They need this guy to make plays. And just doubling back to the Lions defensive play calling, Peter, I think we need Smokey Robinson's take on it after this weekend. That'll be key.
Chinooka.
Is that what it's Chinooka? Is that how he said it? Okay. NFC West showdown
Chinooka, yeah.
with the Rams visiting the Seahawks. What has you excited, Triggs, about this matchup?
All right, Jared Goff. You mentioned Le'Veon Bell, Kyle. How about Jared Goff getting his confidence up? Laid an egg last week against the Jets. People don't realize this. Jared Goff kind of owns the Seahawks, right? Since McVay got there, they've played a bunch of times. They've only lost once on a Thursday night game last year where Zerline missed a chippy field goal. I think Jared Goff needs to win this game for this team to have a shot the rest of the way. If he lays another egg, the confidence, and I don't know about the Rams going on through January.
Everybody is watching to see what you do after you lose to the Jets. I remember when Pee Wee Herman got into his trouble, and everyone in the world was joking about it. He came to the VMAs the next week, and he started the whole show by saying, "You heard any good jokes lately?" And everybody just laughed, and it took all the air out of the room. It was perfect. Like, that's the way you break the ice. We need one of those things from the Rams here, because you guys lost to the Jets, and we're thinking you might win the NFC. Come on now.
Yeah, you said, all right, Jared Goff, Peter. Well, Jared Goff, 4 games, 4 TDs, 5 interceptions, 5 turnovers. So how about this? If you're the Seattle defense, make Jared Goff uncomfortable and slam the door on the division.
Yet somehow the Rams have won 5 of their last 6 over Nate Burleson's old team. The Seahawks, other Nate Burleson's old team, playing today, the Vikings and the Saints in New Orleans. We'll have more on that one and more ahead on GMFB. Coming up, the Falcons, they've been making a significant